Hey everyone, how you doing? Welcome to the Astrophotography podcast. Today's a little bit different. We are actually going to be doing a video as well as doing the audio portion, and I have a very, very special guest with me today. We've been dealing with this company for a long time. I think we're one of their first North American dealers, and I've seen this company just grow and grow and grow, and they put out some amazing, amazing products. So without any further delay, I'd like to introduce Evans from Pegasus Astro, all the way from Greece. This is such an amazing opportunity that I have to talk to him. Evans and I are good friends. At least I think we're good friends, right, Evans?
Hello. Yes, of course. Hello, guys. Hello.
We've met a few times at NEAF and at the Advanced Imaging Conference, and they make some amazing stuff. So, Evans, please introduce yourself and Pegasus Astro, if you don't mind.
Well, we started running the company five to 6 years ago, and I personally own half of the company. Angelos is one of my colleagues, owns the half part, and we started as amateur astronomers. We started creating equipment and products for our own needs. Because some of them were not in the market, so we tried to first accomplish things for our setup, and after that, a lot of friends were asking, "Okay, this is good. Can you make one for us?" And gradually we started in a garage, and we in a basement, not in a garage, in a basement, and we were creating and manufacturing stuff for our friends. And after that, it was exponentially, the growth was exponentially high. And then we said, okay, let's establish a small company. And the company after that, we designed lots of things. First, we started with motor controllers and some other things for synth dew heaters. Then Angelos had an idea about the power box, a small device that can integrates lots of MOSFETs inside and provide power to your equipment.
Right.
This was one of the most important products, and most people would like to have this. So we tried to have all our brainstorming there, and we created a very nice product, which was eventually evolved to the power box, the advanced and ultimate power box we have now. Yeah. But after that, the company, there were too many things to make, and the growth was very high. So we started after that from power boxes, dew heaters, and now we are designing mounts and other cool and neat stuff.
Yeah, it's quite amazing. It's quite amazing to see the company from the early days. And I think I started dealing with you guys, I think just as the dual motor focus controller was transitioning into the Focus Cube, which is an amazing product and still available now, but both products. And there was such a big need in the marketplace for a reliable focusing solution that didn't break the bank, that was reasonable in price and high quality, and just simply worked. And that not only did that mean from the software side, but also from the hardware side, but also from the software side, that it was lightweight, reliable, didn't crash. My apologies. Didn't crash, and just worked out of the box. And I saw that's been an evolving product, from the way you've been coupling to the focusers to the actual L bracket itself has dynamically changed over the past few years and added a lot of flexibility to imagers and being able to remotely control their focusing precisely. And then it went from there. One of my favorite products is the power box. Right? I still use the original Ultimate power box, and then I have the Mini and the Advanced as well on my rig. So fantastic products. And where does all this come from, right? Like you said, it's stuff that you design for yourselves, but you have some unique products that were not on the marketplace before, and now, you know, whether there's a flattery if you want to take it that way, but I can I see other companies trying to replicate what Pegasus is doing, but not necessarily making that mark. Pegasus has set that standard, and I don't think anyone's really come up to it yet.
Well, I have to say that all of them were ideas we have in ourselves, and as we're amateur astrophotographers, and we were in a mountain for very long nights, all these things came up for our needs. It was not it was a brainstorming thing, and we were checking on the field that we were needing this device. So it was not something that was, you know, we say eureka and we designed the product. Gradually we found out that we need these features, these unique features. So we compiled all these features in a product, and eventually, after feedback from our colleagues, from us, and during the long nights, during where we don't sleep and in the cold, right, when we do astrophotography, we found out that this is required to make a successful session of astrophotography without messing with spaghetti cables and, you know, and having power strips, hundreds of power strips and cables, and then USB cables and all this kind of stuff that can ruin your night.
Sure.
If something got snagged.
Yeah,
cable
management has certainly become a lot easier, especially when you have everything integrated into one package, or one reliable package. And
I have to say, I have seen a lot of cases, you know, that most people do not do proper cable management, and when there is a meridian flip, the cable got damaged, and your camera has a problem USB 3 socket or USB 2, and then all your night got ruined, right? Because for a single socket fails due to meridian flip or something that was forgotten.
Right.
A cable. So this is important also to have everything tied up.
Yeah. So I want to talk about two specific products that are upcoming. These are really exciting. I know they've been in the works for a while. One of them completely caught me off guard when he told me about it. But the first one I want to talk about is the environmental sensor, the Uranus meteo sensor. This is an environmental sensor. It also does several things other than temperature and humidity. As a GPS, it does. There it is. Beautiful.
Yes.
When do I get mine? And
well, we are ready to ship now. So we'll accomplish all back orders by the next week. Lots of problems in sourcing parts, equipment, especially the sensors. Most of the sensors we have here are from Bosch and other known manufacturers. So the automotive industry got all of them, and we had severe problems during the COVID-19. So now we managed to get all of them, and we have compiled the board and everything, so we are ready to start shipping.
That's amazing.
It was a 2 years delay, I have to say, a painful 2 years delay, but eventually we are ready. So let's talk about the sensor.
Like,
get it now.
What is it going to offer an imager? What information are we going to be able to get out of it so that we can make the decisions on the quality of the data versus the environment, the sky quality? What can we expect out of it, and what else can it do that you haven't told me yet?
It's unique of its kind. There is nothing similar. I believe the closest thing as a mobile first device is the sky quality meter we all know from Unihedron, but it's only for SQM. This one combines a lot of sensors, and you can get this small device in the field, in a mountain or wherever you are, and you can just collect information about the temperature, the humidity, the pressure, the GPS latitude and longitude of your device, of your site, the altitude, You can get readings if there are clouds or not, and you can also see readings about how many clouds are gathered above you. Especially during the night, maybe you cannot see it if it's very dark, but you can. It does a pretty accurate measurement of the clouds if you're there. You can use it as an SQM also to measure 3 different scales: the Bortle, the MPSAS, which are seconds per square mag, and the naked eye limit magnitude. And also there are also readings about the moon age and the visibility of the moon, the astronomical twilight and sunrise and sunset, and and some other information that you cannot see in the screen, but you can also use it as not as a mobile version, but you can plug a USB and get all this reading in the software we have. So instead of having it as a mobile and clicking there and gathering all the information, you can put it on your telescope just like that, or something like just like that, and with a bracket. And it's very easy to just plug a cable, and you get all the readings in the software we have. Another important thing is that the software has graphics, so you can visualize all this during the night and how all this metrics goes from temperature, from pressure, from if there are clouds. You can make decisions if there are clouds to use with Nina and turn off your all off, or turn it on if there are no clouds. If there are no clouds. You can do different things.
That was a question I was going to ask. So we can fix this onto our telescope and where it's pointing, or have it straight up, and then based on the information that with its sensors and the information it's providing, we could tell our imaging software, Nina, CP Generator Pro, whatever.
Exactly, it's fully ASCOM. So if there are the observation suite driver. Yep. So you can use the observation, ASCOM drivers, and get the readings and know exactly what's going on, and integrate it with Nina, with the sequencer.
And that's why I really like that feature, or that ability, because then we can tell our software that it's not okay to image to pause, and it will pause the imaging. Exactly. It won't just stop. And then when that single cloud that might be causing a problem clears through, and everything's good to image, it just fires back up, does a quick plate solve, depending on the software you're using and how it's set up, and then continue on again. So you're not losing the night, right? Because
exactly, basically you can have different levels of clouds in the software. It can see if there are scattered clouds or light clouds or high clouds, or it's fully overcast. So you can say if it is fully overcast, close the roll off and go to sleep. Or if there are only scattered clouds, it can give you a warning that your scene might get affected. Okay. If there are high clouds, you will definitely have some scene issues.
Right.
But you can have all these small variations of clouds and temperature and humidity. Yeah. And you can say if there is high humidity, turn on the heaters. Right. Or if there is low humidity, don't turn them off. Turn them off. Or you do a percentage.
I can see where that can be really useful information, because a lot of that would be saved into like temperature, for example, sky quality. That information, I believe, can be saved in the FITS header from the imaging software. And then when we bring it into like Pix Insight, yes, I've done this.
Yes, you can do that.
I've done a blink of my images, and you can add extra columns. I wasn't aware of this, so somebody pointed it out. Add extra columns. You can then organize all your images in Blink based on specific measurements or values of those different columns. And then depending on the sky quality, you probably are going to start seeing differences in your images, in your subs overall, and then you can just decide to get rid of the bad ones based off of that information. Correct. So it doesn't get baked into the overall image, and then it's next to impossible to come out. And all this information comes into your ASCOM compliant software, into Unity, right? And then Unity will serve that up to anything that calls
There
for
are
it.
there are two options. Either you can integrate all this data through Unity, through in your feeds through the ASCOM, or we have Unity, which also stores frequently every 10 seconds all the information in its database. So you can store everything there automatically and have historic records of your night. You can go back in time in Unity and check what happened, let's say a couple of days ago, a couple of nights ago, and how all this worked. Another thing that we are planning also is that we are going to launch a cloud service that people can share information from Uranus for different places. Think like the dark sky associations that have information about the dark sky across the globe. We can have all this information, but not only for dark sky. We can have information about temperature, humidity during that specific date, and SQM if there are clouds or not. So everybody can view a Google map or something similar, and zoom in and check what was happening there if someone has uploaded this information.
Wow.
So this is very neat. You can have historic records in your system or upload all historic records automatically into the cloud if you want.
That's amazing. So we can share with others what the weather's like in our particular area. Somebody's planning.
Exactly. This is something we plan to launch soon. It will be very good for the whole community.
That's fantastic.
You will be able to upload everything there, and everybody can see this map, can view this map, and click all the points that are that have been uploaded, and check all the conditions during that specific date.
Yeah.
Night. Yeah.
That's pretty neat. I've never heard of that from anyone else before, and I think it's a great addition to the community. And
exactly, there were plans with the Dark Sky associations and other people to do that, but it was not automatically. You had to manually enter the data. Now with this device, it will automatically upload if you click the submit button that I want to upload everything in the cloud. So by the time you plug the device into the PC, the Unity will automatically check if there are data available, and it will upload to the cloud if you want.
Okay.
So and we are checking also for valid data. We will not upload data that are not valid. Let's say if I put my hand, just like this, and get an SQM measurement inside the building, and I don't have a GPS inside the building, I will not upload it. It should we validate the data if there is a good GPS signal, if the SQM is valid in between ranges, if if other people near you have pretty much the same values, so we will upload them after confirming and validate the data. We want to make this map really useful and valid, right? Because if we upload rubbish, nobody will use it.
Sure.
So,
no,
this is
absolutely. I believe in that too. Garbage in, garbage out, right? And we want to make sure that the information that's available is good data. That's I'm really excited for the Uranus and for when it does finally get shipped to me. I've been bugging Evans about this for months, ever since I saw it firsthand at AIC back in May. And if you follow me on Facebook, and we did a Facebook live broadcast there, you probably saw it then as well, and some of what Evans was talking about with the software, because I think then you were demonstrating some of the features of it too. But let's move on. I want to talk about that beautiful mount that's behind you. The Nix 101. This is really exciting. I have customers that have been asking for it. I have customers who have already purchased it and waiting for it to be delivered. This is a harmonic drive mount using a strain wave gear technology. If you're watching this video, you'll see something is missing from those mounts, and that would be the counterweight. That's the beauty of the harmonic mount system, because the amount of torque that it does develop. So Pegasus Astro has developed this mount. This is the first mount that they've put out. It comes in that gorgeous blue and black that is consistent with a lot of their other products. And we can see a lot of them here on this particular setup. There, I see the Nix mount, I see the Ultimate Power Box, the Falcon Rotator, I see the Prodigy Focuser, and the Indigo filter wheel. The only thing that's missing is a camera.
Well, we have some plans, but the camera is a different, thing, and we need to be ready first.
Yeah,
Right now we have fully focused on the mount.
Oh, absolutely.
And
I think that the QHY red is just taken away from all the gorgeous blue that's there. But talk to me about the mount. Why did he decide to go with a harmonic system? I love harmonic. I have a harmonic mount myself, which is important for me because I have a bad habit of losing or forgetting my counterweight.
Well,
so
lots of people are asking about that. Yeah, lots of people are asking about that. That's why the harmonic. First, it's a new trend, and I have to say that I also use it. I have used it for lots of nights in the mountain, and I have to say that it's very nice also for me. I will never turn back now to counterweights, because you don't need counterweights. This mount can support up to 20 kilos, 44 pounds, I think, without counterweights. And we have now here two configurations in equatorial system and in the azimuth with the C11 heads on it. The good part about without counterweights and about the harmonic is that also there is no backlash. You don't have backlash in the gears. There are no gears. It's the harmonic strain wave system that works, and you can go back and forth into your two axes, array and deck, or azimuth and altitude without having motor backlash. So this is a very important thing. You can dead center in your eyepiece or in your image field of view the target without losing degrees caused by misalignment and motor backlash. So this is one major advantage about the strain waves. Also basically the most important advantage is that this mount can have very, very high payload without counterweights. Even with 20 kilos of payload, you don't need counterweights at all, and it doesn't affect the performance of the mount. It will fully slew. It will fully slew to 5 degrees or 6 degrees through the sky without counterweights.
Can we add a counterweight to it? Will that increase its payload capability?
I did some tests. I didn't see a guided difference with a counterweight, but you can. We support the classic Skywatcher M12 thing, so you can just screw it here. See?
Okay.
And then you can add the counterweights you want. If you going to add more kilos than 20, let's say, I don't know, maybe you have a C14 and it's heavier with all your eyepieces and diagonal and all this kind of stuff you're gonna add. So yeah, you can add the counterweight and increase the capacity to more kilos.
So when we buy one of these Nix mounts, we're buying just the mount on its own. We're not buying it with the tripod. The tripod is an option. So
the tripod is optional. You buy the mount with this very nice bag, and it's very small, and it's very neat inside.
We can carry that onto an airplane probably.
Yeah, it's very small. You put the mount goes here, and here goes the power supply and everything else. So you can just carry it without a problem. It's 6 kilos, and that's it. So you buy a mount with a cable, with a power cable and the power supply, and that's it. And you can. There is a universal saddle, Los Mandi and Vixen, so you can just place any telescope from a very small one to a larger one, like the other I have here, the Celestron C11,
Right.
and that's it. And you just insert 12 volts. You don't need special converters to step up the voltage. Everything is stepped up inside the mount for very high torque for the motors and very high slew rates. So you just plug the mount and it works. And there is a brake also, not to slide when it's off. There were problems in the beginning about mounts that they were that when it was turning off, it was backsliding. So this is not a problem with us. There's an electronic brake inside, so when you remove the power, the mount just stops there, and there's no problem.
One thing I noticed too is that there's no polar scope on it, but it looks like it has mountings for a pole master.
Yes, there is a mount. I can have it here. Well, you can place. This is included, so you can place a pole master here, and just screw it there and work with the pole master. But also you can use. I stopped using it, to be honest, and I use the Nina 3 star alignment. It's a free plugin, so you can easily use your camera as a polar scope.
Yeah,
and it's very decent and very efficient.
There are lots of polar alignment solutions, whether it's the Nina 3-star polar alignment. I believe Astrophotography tool has it now.
Yes, of course.
Sharpcap
any software now. And Sharpcap,
has its system as well. So there's lots of great solutions out there. I believe you also support the LX200 command set. So if
exactly, and I have a demo here. You see, I have.
And everything runs off.
You can just use your mobile phone and the Sky Safari and connect the mount and use it. I have it here. So you see, I can control it through Asalt Azimuth from my mobile phone now with LX200. So it can easily lift the C11 in Alt Azimuth and even more payload.
Yeah, that's quite amazing to see a C11 being moved around very easily without any additional counterweight.
Very, very easily. You can add an even larger one.
Yeah.
To be honest, when we started testing the performance of the mount, we added 5 kilos on top of the C11 to simulate more payload, and it was working also there without a problem. So you can add definitely more weight.
So I noticed that there's the Pure extension, and then you also have, looks like an EQ6 tripod on there. So that anyone that has an EQ6 mount and they want to upgrade to this mount, they can keep their tripod, put the Pure extension on, which is and then or put the mount directly onto the EQ6 with the your EQ6
exactly
adapter.
There is an EQ6 adapter, which we call it universal, because we also have included a lot of holes, so you can use it in your custom Pure and just grab it and mount it with extra screws.
Okay.
And the good thing also about this is that we sell these standoffs, so you can add more standoffs for better stability. So we sell it with 3, but you can add up to 6, and you can increase the stability of this whole Pure.
Okay.
So this is very neat, and right now we have the EQ6 and the adapter for our carbon tribal, which is very lightweight. But we plan to have more adapters for other telescopes. For other tripods in the market. We start with this, but eventually we'll see the demand and custom make more adapters that will support, I don't know, Ioptron tripods or Berlbach or other tripods in the market that are very they have a great reputation.
Okay. Yeah, no, very, very beautiful mount. I can't wait to see it here in our showroom as well. And I believe you guys are going to be shipping in October. Is that still the plan?
Yes, we planned mid to end of October at the latest. We need to catch up the Christmas period, so when people get the mount they love. So this is something that we want to start we want to start shipping as soon as possible. The good thing also is that we have, let me show you. We also have the Unity ready, of course, with Aston and everything. So, here is the Unity, and this is the driver of the mount. So you get everything here if you want, and you can see all the mount information and everything else when it works. And you can have, you see here, all the information about the array and deck and azimuth, and you can have settings here about the site latitude and limits and information about the mount. A good thing that I'd like to share also is that the mount has some sensors in it about the tilt and the pitch roll. So you can level the mount through the software. You don't have to use a leveler. So you can check the software and see and have an electronic leveler and level the altazimuth mount with the software. And there is also an electronic compass inside, so you can find easily the north direction of the mount.
Wow, this is what has always amazed me about your products, Evan. Is you and Angelos have put so much into it with the design, where you guys really think of all the little features that are missing in the marketplace with other products. A little thing like that, like having an electronic compass, to have an electronic level, right? I think it's a small little features like that that really add to the value, massive value to the product, and it's still a very reasonably priced product as well on the market. I'm super excited about the Nix mount.
Us too. There is a lot of competition, to be honest. We try to keep the prices as low as possible and to provide a very decent mount and modern, the harmonic gear mount to all of our customers. So I believe they will love it. And I already have loved it. And I use it. I will never turn back now. I have also other mounts like the EQ6 and EQ8, but I will never turn back. I put this in the bag, and I have the telescope as it is without removing everything. I put it in my car, and I go on the mountain and do astrophotography immediately. All the other guys are struggling to put the mount and the counterweights and everything. I set up my equipment in less than 3 minutes.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. And as a harmonic drive mount user myself, I feel the same way. It's kind of like I drive an electric car, and I have been for the past 3-4 years. And I can't see myself ever going back to a gas car again, just because why, right? It doesn't, to me, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense for my situation anyways. So it's the same thing. I like I said, for me, it was the best thing ever to not have to worry about counterweights, because I'll go to a star party and I'll unpack everything, and then I have to call my wife and beg her to meet me and bring me my weights. I love her.
I'll tell you a joke here. We have a friend who lives 100 meters away, and when the last time, I believe a couple of months ago, we were walking, we saw in his backyard the counterweights left down, because the guy was loading the car to go on a mountain, but he left the counterweight down on the ground. And we took a photo. We took a photo as a marketing, point that forgot something. Get a harmonic drive.
Yeah. Oh,
so this is also neat, amazing. That we can have now this technology.
Yeah. Hey, I just noticed something really quick. If you guys can show me on the C11, you have your motor on the back.
Yeah, this is the zero, the focus cube 0, and it is off axis in order not to collide your equipment with the motor. So you can load the filter wheel or everything else you want, and it will not collide with your gear. And it's a belt and belt system with pulleys and belt. Yep. It has 0 backlash also. It's direct motor with some gearbox reduction.
Right.
Sorry, no gearbox with pullays and belt reduction, so there is no backlash. And you can quickly move from one point to another, even if you are also a visual imager, a visual guy or an imager, you can quickly move from one point to another. And so it's very fast, very accurate, and very precise.
Yeah, I like the fact that it's got zero backlash on it. That is, especially on, I think on an SCT, that's very important, particularly when you have a long focal length and you're trying to focus with an automatic
exactly.
focus routine. So that's a great addition. So, this was absolutely amazing. Evans and I have talked about doing a podcast recording for well over a year, and
for over a year, yeah.
We haven't been able to get our schedules to align properly. Now I know why, because there's these two amazing products that are coming out, and look, all the focus was put onto that. So I think that's great. Evans, thank you very much for your time. Stathis, thanks for holding the camera for us as well all this time. I'm sure the arms are getting tired. So, I appreciate your time, and to everybody who is listening and subscribed, thanks again for doing so. I know it's been a long time since I've had a podcast recording put out, so we're gonna now we have a regular cadence scheduled, and we'll get more out there. But I appreciate everybody, and Evans, Stathis, thank you very much for your time, and clear skies to you, clear skies to everybody that's listening, and we'll catch you on the next podcast.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Steve. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.